What's your emotions after that one?
Yeah, certainly was. Just let ourselves down in the first half. It was. We showed what we're capable of doing in the second half, but you can't play a half of football like that against a quality opposition and expect to be, close. So for us, a good lesson. Got to go back to the drawing board, prepare well, and go back to Sydney. It's 1-1, so we'll see how we go in game 3.
Despite that slow start, you got yourselves back into the game. That last 5 or 10 minutes, had a chance. How do you see the way you executed those last 5 or so minutes?
Yeah, I think when we look at the video, I think we'll see opportunities, but I think we created 5 tries to 4, but I just get back to discipline, completions. We were nowhere near the mark in the first 40, so that was disappointing, but I was proud of them obviously in the second half because they dug deep and showed everyone what they're capable of doing, but you've got to go 2 halves. It's an old cliche, but it's true.
Aussies didn't help the 8-0 penalty count. What were your thoughts on that at half time? Were you really that poorly disciplined? A bit stiff?
I can't tell you what I honestly think, so I'm not going to say that.
What do you think Jerome Luai, a bit of a change in your halves, obviously? How do you think Jerome went?
I thought he was good. Certainly brought good energy to the performance. Like all the players, we had some good moments, but we can be a lot better. So that's on me and it's on the team. So I've got to make sure that I review myself first and foremost, and I'll do that, and then we'll come back in the game 3.
Was Nathan fully fit? Didn't do a lot of kicking in the first half, goal kicking, compression bandage. Did he pick up an injury late in the week? How was he?
No, he just felt a bit tight in his groin, so we wanted to sort of limit the amount of force that he put through there. He's a tough kid, Nathan. We know what a quality player he is, but he's tough, and his groin was tight, but he got through okay.
Was there any concern over what they would have played?
No.
Version of events around the Jerome Luai alleged face on a hand on face incident. It was placed on report form.
No,
Isaiah, you were in that one? On Ruben Cotter? First half. 20 seconds.
I thought it was just like a facial. Yeah. So,
I didn't see it up in the footage. Like, he put him on report, but I didn't see why. I thought it was facial. There was a fair few of those in the game, but
we saw a fair few of them in game 1 too.
So you're disappointed with the Pack's performance? I mean, you had them under the pump in game 1, but they really fired up, didn't they, the Marrons tonight?
They did. They did. We're own worst enemies too. Like, on our trial line a lot, just through our discipline, through errors. We just couldn't get out of our own way at the moment, at the time, and then they had all the momentum. So it was obviously, to be fair, it was a game of 2 hours. I felt like we probably had momentum through the middle of the field in that second half, but you can't do that to a pack like that who are obviously emotional off the back of game 1, but just more so as a team. I just felt like I thought Cam Munce was running a lot, which they just wanted to be in the game, and when things are going right for you, everyone wants the ball. So we just didn't do a good enough job of just holding our hands up. We just compounded too much. Well, it was ill-disciplined. We'd finally get the ball back, and we'd drop the ball early, wouldn't get a good set end. And thought we spoke about it really well at half time. There was no panic, so that was a really good thing. But yeah, you just can't miss a jump in this. Sometimes scoring the first try can be a bad thing, and it might have been that for us tonight. But yeah, the good thing is we've got an opportunity now back home in the decider, and there's nothing better.
Isaiah, what did you make of the 8-0 penalty count? Did you get an explanation from Ash what was going on in that first half?
There's certainly a few that we're shooting ourselves in the foot with, and they're just penalties. Other ones are 50-50. Some nights you get them, some nights you don't. So. But what you can't do is you can't go drop the ball early in the next time, in the tackle count next set when you've got the ball. So you'd obviously like that to be a bit more even, but yeah, we're our own worst enemy at times as well. So Yeah.
Did you I know it's bloody hard from the sideline, but to leave 6 points out there off the boot again, how frustrating is it that it could have been the other way? It could have been a 4-point win.
Yeah, look, I don't sort of you want to kick goals, but there's a lot more things that we needed to do that I was disappointed in. Like, goal kicking's way down the list. It's more about our execution, intent. There was a lot of things we didn't do well in the first half. So that's what I was more concerned with. Yeah.
Were you comfortable with the Nathan Cleary try being overturned for obstruction?
Was that the obstruction? Yeah, I mean, Steph was there, so he has to get out of the road. So I think players are smart though to run into it, but I think it was the correct decision. Yeah.
And did you see enough in the second half to keep the confidence that you've got the right 17 players to win you the series in Sydney, or
I was confident at half time. So, I know what this group is capable of, and that's the thing I suppose that you get disappointed with, because they never gave themselves that opportunity. But it's 1-1. That's what Origin is all about. It creates theatre and creates headlines, and I'm sure everyone wants a decider, and they've got it.
Disappointed, sense up to the one that got away. Should have won it, really.
I think I know what our best football is, and when we play our best football, I know what we're capable of doing and giving. And as I said, I got to take responsibility, because we started well, but the first half wasn't great. So I got to look at what I've done, because something's not right.
Was your ability to play your best football, was that impacted by one, Nathan's little leg thing going on, and the late arrival of Jerome, and your ability to? Is that a factor in the way you played in that first half?
Oh no, I just think we just missed the jump with just completion. Like it really was just errors and penalties, and just compounded, and we just made it really hard for ourselves. And Queensland were good. Like Queensland, we knew what we were going to come up against, and they delivered. And with the amount of criticism that they received, which was way over the top, we just knew that they were going to be better. So, we got to be better, and we will be better.
What do you make of the last 48 hours, the noise around Queensland, backs against the wall, Billy under a lot of pressure? Do you think that galvanised them at all? I haven't sort of asked you about how you felt the last 48 hours have unfolded.
Yeah, and I'm not dodging the question. I've just been focused on the group. I really have. I haven't really discussed anything. I just know that my energy's been channeled into the boys. So, I don't really know. And to be fair, mate, I don't. When I'm in camp, I don't read papers. I don't go near them, because I just don't want to know what's going on in the world, and I don't want to know what's going on in rugby league as well. But I wouldn't be able to tell you what's happening.
So Cameron months after the game talking about how they wanted to do it for Billy, and that was a motivator. Like, do you think that was a set thing that might have galvanised them a little bit, that motivation?
Mate, I don't know. I don't know. I think any time you play in an Origin game, you're pretty motivated. There's a lot of reasons to be motivated, but I don't know. Thanks, mate.
Bill, it was a good win, and it was up and down. How's the emotions now?
Yeah, good win. It's a heart stopper. We didn't help ourselves in that second half, but boy, there's a whole heap of courage and character and effort, a bit of spirit. I thought that last 10 minutes, to defend our try line, New South Wales they were coming to get us, and they're a bloody good team, and they got some strike in their footy team, and huge credit to our fellas for turning up and continually turning up. So, that's the pride I feel for our footy team, and I'm sure 5.5 million Queenslanders feel that pride right now as well. Probably I don't like calling myself a coach, but the coach in me sees the hurt that we put on ourselves in that second half, and I look to that pretty quick.
What about Billy, captain's knock? He was outstanding, wasn't he, Cam, tonight? The way he led the side under adversity at times.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, even without being the captain, Cameron Munster has really led this footy team. He led it as a kid. I was still playing. In 2017, Game 3, he led it with his actions, and that's what he did again tonight. He's just got the C next to his name now, and he has to go and flick the coin and make decisions on captain's challenges and all that sort of stuff, but he's been a leader right from the start, and it's a pleasure to have him in this footy team.
A lot of conjecture on your decision not to pick Daly, but the bloke who replaced him tonight has justified the faith he showed in him.
You won't get a negative word out of me for Daly Cherry Evans. He's a wonderful player and has been a wonderful player for a long period of time. It's Tom's time now, and he didn't surprise any of us, I don't think, in what he put out there tonight. So yeah, really proud of him, and that's the first time he's worn the number 7 jersey for Queensland. I wouldn't imagine it'd be the last.
Another selection you were questioned over Kurt Capewell, the veteran coming back, like he really earned his place back in that side tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a reason why the Warriors are doing well, because they got players like Kurt Capewell in their team. That's what successful footy teams look like. They've got hard-working players that are willing to put everything into the footy team, and that's what Capes does. You know, a bit of talk around, you know, the number of missed tackles and that on his stat sheet. I actually didn't know that until I read it in the paper. Probably goes to show that I don't look at numbers when I look at habits in players. I look at their actions and how they contribute to their footy team, and he has done an amazing job. He's played probably half the season at centre. You know, the other half in the back row. His body's in great shape. He's nice and fit, and he's a team first player. And it might have surprised a few, but you know, it wasn't that out of the blue for me.
The decision to switch the wingers as well. Where does that sort of come from?
Yeah, just Xavier Coates plays on the left-hand side all the time. Yeah, we just felt that was the best look for our footy team, and that's what we do. We analyse our game, we look at our players, and we try and build Queensland's best footy team. And if that's changing people around and people have to work in with the footy team and, you know, put the team first, well, that's what happens. And you know, the players have had a great attitude this week, and you know, whether a player's moved from the starting team to the bench or switch sides and switch positions, there hasn't been one whinge. Like, we're playing for Queensland at the end of the day. We're wearing the maroon jersey, and you know, that has always been the first and foremost, you know, thought in our minds. So that's our priority.
I heard you interviewed after the game on the field. You spoke quite emotionally about doing it for Billy and sort of what he's been through the last 48 hours and the pressure over the last few games. What did it mean to you? You played with him, you've been coached by him. How much did that galvanise the team?
Yeah, when we got jabs or blokes in the media having a go at your coach, and right, like at the end of the day, he's our coach and he's done everything he can and ticked the boxes for us, and we didn't perform for him in game 1, and he got a lot of slack for it and a lot of stuff in the media, and he didn't deserve it. And I've played with Bill. He's a champion player and champion coach, and when I've had a great relationship with him and still do, and we're probably almost really close mates. And when you have someone jabbing at him like that, it really hurts. It hurts me personally, and I never tell him that, but now I'm probably telling him now, and I love him, and I just want to do the best thing for Queensland and best thing for him, because he's not doing this for him, he's doing it for Queensland, and he loves Queensland, and that's the reason why he's so passionate. And when you have someone like that in there and at the top of the helm, you just want to play for him. And yeah, at the end of the day, I just love playing for Queensland, and he's the reason why I want to play.
Did you have that conversation with the players? Like, I'm probably not in front of Billy, but privately as the leader, did you have that conversation?
No, I didn't have to. I think, like, rightly so, like the boys would have seen on their phones, media, whatever it was. Like, at the end of the day, like when someone's having a jab at someone from your own backyard, you stand up on your back and want to get up and fight. And we needed to do that tonight. We were backs against the wall, no one gave us a chance. And when you have guys nitpicking and jabbing at your coach, it's not him, it's the players that go out there. He's given us a great game plan, and we didn't execute in game 1, and we did it tonight in the first half. We obviously got to work on things in game 3, but I'm just so proud of us as a group that we had to play for him.
How does that make you feel, hearing that?
Sorry. What does it mean to hear that, Billy, that support from Kim? Because it's been an eventful 24 hours for you. Like, how have you reconciled it, and did it play on your emotions?
Ever said to me. No, like I don't know. Like, I know the game. I'm in the game. I understand it. Sometimes, you know, things get pushed to the boundary, but it hasn't influenced how I look at myself and who I am as a person. Like, I'm very comfortable with who I am. I know who I am. I know who these guys are, and there's been a real togetherness about the group, and that was what I was talking about with the position switches and, you know, starting bench, it doesn't matter. Everyone's a player of this footy team. Everyone's a member of this footy team, and that's what Queenslanders do. You know, they do it together. And now I'm not talking disrespectful to any other states, but, you know, when something happens, you know, they all pull together and look after each other. And whether it's a flood or a cyclone or, you know, a bushfire, you know, they all pull together and help each other out.
Cameron, you mentioned on the field about it being a backs to the walls win up. Given what happened 3 weeks ago, what's happened 3 weeks since, up yesterday and the last couple of days really, where does that rank in terms of backs to the walls wins you've been a part of with Queensland?
Oh, it's got to be up there. I can't remember the last time we won a game 2, other than probably 2023. I've never had a great record on game 2s, and I've never had a great record on Perth. Looking back on it, I've probably lost most games here by 50. You know, so to come out and play the way we did in the first half, and yeah, we got some things to work on in the second half, but just like the way the boys got around each other, the series was on the line, and we worked hard for each other. A bit similar to the 1995 we keep talking about. They won by 2 points in a couple of those games in the series, and we won by 2 tonight. So it was that 95 mentality in D, and yeah, we just got to keep working hard for each other. It's going to be a harder task going to Sydney, and we got to be ready for it. You can't afford to be ambushed.
You made reference to the field to the 1995 team. Like, is that something that's been spoken about a fair bit in the last week and a half? Just similarities and the, you know, backs to the wall, people not expecting you to win and whatnot.
Oh, it's one of those things. We probably put it on ourselves. We didn't play great footy in the first game, and as media journalists, you got to create stories and make stories, and we didn't deserve to be able to play and win game 1. You know, the way we played, and we improved tonight, but yeah, we got so much more improvement to do because we can't afford to dish up that stuff we did in the second half. And if it's a dry track, could have been a different story, you know. So I know both teams played in those conditions in the wet, but yeah, we just can't keep blowing leads like that because they're a great team, like Bill talked about. And we got blokes like Nathan Cleary and Jerome Leroy and Payne Hash with the ball in hand. They're very strong ball carriers and very strong in contact, and they're very skillful players.
Just one of the combination with Tom Dearden. Yep. First time playing, or first time starting together in the halves. Did it feel like it clicked straight away? There were a few times you guys linked up, in particular lead up to the Kurt Capewell try.
Yeah, it's just playing off the cuff footy, like eyes up footy. Like we obviously have structures in place, but when that goes out the window when you see opportunities, and yeah, it just takes one little moment for blokes to push in the right hole. If we execute, we execute. Sometimes they're not going to execute. So it obviously come off for us tonight in the first half. It might not come off for us in game 3. We just got to work on it. And yeah, we had a great combination, me and Tommy. We can build on that. We got some things that we can both work on in the second half. Lost a little bit of control there, but we just got to work on our discipline and probably holding on to the ball a couple of times there. Really shot ourselves in the foot.
Billy Jerome Leroy placed on report, facial eye gouge, not sure what happened out there. Did you have a view on it?
Early in the game?
Yeah.
I didn't get a real good look at it. I didn't even see the replay. So, yeah, I really can't comment on anything like that. But, you know, that gets taken care of with, you know, the match review, and they all analyse it, and if nothing happened, nothing will happen.
What about the end? I know it didn't matter, but the decision, Kalen Ponga, the knock-on at the end could have been a crucial moment.
Well, they're 50-50s, aren't they? You know, we're sitting in the box probably going, oh, it goes backwards, you know, but you know, again, 50-50 calls, and you know, the game is hard to officiate like that because when you slow it down and it's like neutral, I think it was called a knock-on in the field of play. So, you know, Ashley made that decision in the moment, and you know, the bunker probably had to go with him.
Harry's first half, I know there's been a narrative about him not being able to win starting, but he really set the platform.
Yeah. You can make a narrative around anything. Do we all think Harry Grant's a great dummy half? Like probably the best dummy half in the game. You know, so creating a narrative around that is probably a little bit unfair. We're all talking numbers here, and you know, the team hasn't played well when he started at dummy half, but he's a wonderful player, and he'd be the first to admit that he was below his standard in game 1. You know, Harry doesn't do that too often, so it didn't surprise me that he had the first half that he did.
What about really going to Sydney to win a decider? It's such a tough task.
Yeah.
But you must, from the attitude of your forwards tonight, you must think you can get the job done again.
Well, we have never won over here in Perth. I don't even want to think about what the scoreline would add up to if we just accumulated our Perth scorelines.
100 to 10.
You're good at maths, Kim.
But I don't think we've ever won a series being 1-0 down and have to travel. So like what an opportunity. I think I said it yesterday at the press conference. What an opportunity it is for this team to have to go to Sydney to wrap up the series. Like it's not easy. Like, this game is hard. It's a hard game. So they get that opportunity, and I'm sure New South Wales will, be ready to go in game 2. So it's going to be a heck of a game, and looking forward to getting in preparation for it.
Sorry?
Were you able to bring your boots in, your special boots?
My boots?
Yeah.
Oh, for the biosecurity? Yeah, I ended up having to go through customs. So thanks for that, guys. I brought dirt into the wrong state, so they got me. I'm only joking, but just make a narrative around it for you. So.
We thought he was going to blow his captain's challenge if he lost the coin toss.
We're done here, guys. All right?